Well, good everyone. Thank you for joining my little travel cafe and having another coffee talk. Hope you've grabbed your coffee and you're sitting down, and maybe I can get you excited on doing a destination you never thought possible. So, my name is Susan Walker. I am the very proud owner of the Expedia Cruises here in Red Deer. Cannot believe, but in October, we're celebrating our 15th year of business. And we are so happy to think of the number of people that we have sent on spectacular vacation experiences throughout the year. And we will continue to do so as travel is starting to open up. So we're super excited. In case you haven't heard, February 28th is the lifting of the dreaded PCR test that we all had to do when in order to get back into Canada. It has now dropped down to the antigen test, and which is nice because it only has to be taken 24 hours prior to departure, and it's much, much cheaper than that PCR test. And another good news is that travel has also been downgraded, or is going to be downgraded to a level 2. So super, super excited about that. The word out on the street that we could expect additional restrictions could be lifted. And we, of course, like you, are hoping that it is going to come sooner than later. So good news, travel is back, and we are here. We've been working hard the last 2 years, staying up on touch of everything, and so that we will know what's going on and we can help service all of you. So this week our talk is on the exotics. Now, the exotics obviously covers a really large area of the world, and really, depending on your travel experience, exotics can mean different things to different people and different destinations. In the cruising world, however, exotics usually take in Africa, Asia, Central America, Galapagos, South America, and of course, an exotic ultimate world cruise is an experience that you all need to take. And they are getting to be more and more popular as the years go on, with all the cruise lines jumping in: Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, Princess, all on up to Seaboard, to our luxury lines as well. So year around is when you can do an exotic, obviously, just depending on your destination, right? So whatever will fit into your time frame, we could find a super fun destination for you to go to. There's different departure points, of course, within the Galapagos. With the Galapagos, Cape Town, Africa, you could depart from Hong Kong, Sydney, Australia, Ho Chi Minh City, Japan, and of course, the list goes on and on and on. So your sailings and the amount of days that you can do exotics are as varied as the destinations itself. If you happen to be just over in Singapore for some reason, you could take a Royal Caribbean 4 to 5 days from there. Or what about a 24-day aboard the stunning Silver Seas Silver Shuttle, departing from the Seychelles to Cape Town? Now, wouldn't that be just the most exotic destinations? Of course, when we're talking about exotics, we can never forget about Tahiti. Our Paul Gauguin Cruise Lines does this destination amazing, gives you lots of different opportunities to explore all of those romantic islands. And if you've put off your honeymoon, or maybe you're wanting to renew those vows, why don't you come and talk to us? I think renewing your vows in Tahiti after what we've been through is is something that we all really deserve to do. As I mentioned earlier, the world cruises have really picked up steam. And instead of maybe going down south, if that's what you typically been doing for 3 or 4 months, why don't you start thinking about a world cruise? I mean, the ultimate, and this is the ultimate high end as well, there's 145 days. Can you believe that? I board another seaboard amazing ship, and this one is sailing from Los Angeles to Athens. These world cruises typically start in January, and this sailing that I just mentioned is already available for 2024. So now is time to start thinking about that. Repositioning is also very, very popular with our clients, and those are popular for several reasons. Is the price point is usually pretty decent. And you might get into destinations that the cruise line typically wouldn't stop at. So you could depart from San Diego. I have somebody very special to me leaving from Vancouver, heading over to Australia, Holland America. This one is on the Volendam for 94 days. It's going to San Diego and coming back to San Diego. But you could go Vancouver, get you all the way to Sydney with stops in Honolulu and New Zealand. So that is something, a way to get away from all this crazy snow and cold. Like Europe, the exotics, the itinerary is far more important than the ship. Because if you're going to go to the exotic, you probably have an idea of where you want to see and what you want to do. So we can match the ship up with that destination. So lots of different questions, pretty well about the same as we get for when people go to Europe. Answers same, but not the same. So currency, of course, it will really depend on your destination. So that's something that your experts with Expedia Cruises here in Red Deer would really be able to let you know. For example, if you are traveling on Australian cruise, maybe a princess one, then they use Australian dollars on board, right? So, or if you're going over to China or Japan, it will all change. But we can help you know all those details in plenty of time. Will language be an issue? Yeah, it can be, just depending. That is be totally, again, based on your destination. But as I said last week with Europe, I find a big smile is sometimes only the only language that you need to have everybody understand exactly what you want. What should I wear? People are always so concerned because we want to make sure, right, that we're packing the right stuff and not packing that we don't need. Although I don't know if I've ever packed with things that I thought that I needed and arrived and go, oh, I didn't need to bring 20 pairs of shorts. But anyways, these destinations are all again about the experience. So your packing is going to be more comfortable clothes. What are you going to do when you get to the ports? Are you going to go hiking? Are you going to do a city tour? Are you doing shopping? Are the list can go on and on and on. So walking shoes, of course, pretty well every destination. That is super, super important. Make sure you buy them early if you're buying a new pair so that they get broken in, because nothing worse than walking for 2 or 3 hours in a new pair of shoes. As you might tell, I can say from experience, and find that they're not a good fit, or you're going down to the medic to get some bandages for those blisters. Always make sure that you bring a cover up, ladies, for any of the religious places that you go to, whether it's a mosque or a Buddhist temple or any of the Catholic churches or whatever. You always want to make sure that you're super respectful. So, and if you didn't bring one, well, a lot of the exotics have amazing, beautiful scarves that you can purchase right from the local people. So you'll be okay there too. Nighttime dressing, same as what you do for a nice dinner here in Red Deer, as I mentioned previously, or if you've gone to a nice resort. Nothing over the top. You can leave men your tux, as I said last week, behind, and the ladies your evening gowns as well. But however, depending on the cruise line, if you go on one of the luxury lines, then the dress code might be a little bit up from where you would do on a contemporary cruise line, for an example. But once again, we'll let you know that plenty ahead of time so you can have lots of time to go shopping. So how far out should we book? Once again, exotics and the best pricing, but whether we're talking about Caribbean or Alaska, as far out as you can is always the best. Cruise lines give their best deals as soon as the itinerary is open. So yes, you can wait for last minute, and yes, you may be able to get a deal, but then the cruise line or the airline is usually more expensive. You're not getting the stateroom you want. The dining is taken. So really is no risk for you to book as early as possible. So celebrity, if you're thinking of going to the Galapagos, they're available for departures in November 2024, which seems a little surreal for us, but we have to remember these ships are tiny. There's not as many people on board, and people are wanting to get away and have those experiences. So don't wait too long is what I'm trying to tell you. So cruising can be complicated. But the best part is we take all that stress away from you. We make it so easy, just like the Staples easy button, right? All you have to do is push it. It's easy. We'll cross the T's, we'll dot the I's for you to make this as seamless as possible. So remember, we also have exclusive group rates for many of our sailings that are only accessible by booking with your agent with Expedia Cruises here in Red Deer. Even the cruise lines don't have access to some of these rates that we do. So while it might appear to be your best value to book directly with the cruise lines, they really would rather you book with the experts here. Saves them a lot of money in the long run, and it doesn't cost you. It might actually even save you a lot of money. So another advantage of booking with Expedia Cruises here in Red Deer. We are so happy. We still have another 4 days for Rediscover the World on. It's on until February 28th. This is where Celebrity is our main cruise line, and we're doing donations to the Breast Cancer Society, and it's now is really the time to look at Celebrity if you were thinking of booking them, and book it in the next 4 days. So once again, I'm Susan Walker. I'm the franchise owner of Expedia Cruises here in Red Deer, and I want to thank you for joining us for this week's travel talk in my little travel cafe with my hot cup of coffee, and I hope that you're enjoying yours as well. Next week, I am so excited. I get my first guest. It's been a long time. This gentleman was actually our guest at our last in-house travel event when the virus had just started rear its ugly head, and we were like, oh, it's not going to amount to anything, it's not going to last long, don't worry. Well, 2 days later, as you all know, things had changed. So really super excited to have Colin back from Royal Caribbean. We love this cruise line. It's an amazing, great cruise lines for families, couples, multi-generational. Grandpa and grandma, if you want to leave your children and your grandchildren with memories, then really take a serious look at Royal Caribbean, because it can suit everybody and has areas on the ship from adult only to the kids sections and everything else. I won't go into any further details because Colin will do a much better job of explaining it. So super excited. So I hope you can join us next Thursday at 10:30, where Colin, as I mentioned, we're Royal Caribbean. And we also will be kicking off our exclusive Royal Adventure Sale that's going on from March 7th to 17th. So if Royal Caribbean is on your bucket list or whatever, then make sure you come and see us so we can get you all set, getting you into the best deal possible. So once again, thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining me this warming up Thursday morning. And if you have any questions on any forms of travel, we are a full service agency. We can provide you all sorts of land opportunities, all inclusives, rail trips, G adventures, you name it, we can help you do that. So please give us, our team, a call at 403 3410177, or even direct message us right down here below. We'll get in touch with you right away. And or why don't you even give us a message and tell us you're coming in for your hot cup of coffee, and we'll set up an appointment for you and offer you a coffee, and we'll sit down and we'll talk about maybe where your exotic destination is going to take you next. So until next time, thank you for joining me, and really appreciate your time. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.